There's the tavern.
Tavern keeper.
You're back. Can I pour you something this time?
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. Big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table.
I'm looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who's been missing roll call.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water. Anything else?
Nope.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
There's the guy. But
Who
he's
are
not
you?
sitting at the table.
I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago. After visiting this establishment, a young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
It's the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Kurt is asking the right questions. Maybe he's his son or something like that? Oh, congestion. Wanted to take a screenshot. But well. It's very odd. Ah, there we go, green door.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
She's only the servant. There she is.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
Speak about the after action at the tavern.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from heaven using force. He had joined your husband willingly.
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
Even if he is their son, it's a bit weird.
What was your son doing on Naught's ship? Why would they have taken...
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Naughts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Naughts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Maybe we can learn more from the harbor master or from the captain. What do they suggest? Learn more about the Nord contracts. Oh, loot. And now, nothing. That's a shame. I think they are directing me to the captain. Yeah.
Sir? Constantine d'Orsay, future governor of Tir Freddy. I'm enchanted, Captain. I am eager to board your ship.
Enchanted as well. I hope you enjoy your voyage.
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. I'm still without news of my cabin boy. To do without.
Let's inquire on Madame Fontaine.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. He was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Ask Mr. Degon for information.
What do you think of our port?
Referring to this one. The biggest high sea, thanks to your prince, even certain zones, it's a good port.
Let's ask about the merchandise.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates.
Well then, they'll have to... The next ship for New leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten it into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 3D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to dock to the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Nort?
Let's go do the cabin boy thing first.
This sordid business.
Your Highness, I'm happy to see you. Your absence this morning worried both your father and me.
Come now, Sir de Corsilio. My father may have been angry, outraged, or disappointed, but he's never worried about me. I am sad to have caused you any worry, though. Would you believe that I was rotting away in a sinister jail, guarded by thugs ready to kill me? Though still seeing double from last night's drink, I was preparing his escape plan when... Ta-da! My dear cousin jumped up out of nowhere and saved me. I'm quite the fairy tale damsel in distress.
You might have refrained from the company of bandits the night before such an important departure.
Take away the risk and halve the pleasure, de Corsilio. It is the salt of life.
I fear that some of my teachings have been misunderstood. But you wanted to ask me something, de Sade?
Exactly.
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there has always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
Oh my goodness.
No, that pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Naughts as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers please cost us dearly. Owen could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Should we talk to her again? Ah ja, Fontaine's family house. Good. Green door. Here we go. What do we have here? Can't pick it up. Oh, I can. Note to the attention of the servant. I would like you to prepare several meals and bring them to the warehouses we own on the canal. My husband will have to work there with his clerk and his men for a few days, so make sure that there's enough food for everyone and be discreet. We do not want other families to know about what is happening.
This document mentions another property, a warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
We shall, but first I will talk to the lady again.
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiry yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
Okay,
With respect, my lady.
I can't confront her with the truth about the contract. Okay. Find a way to free Jonas.
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
A handful of underlings don't scare us away. Right, cousin?
Try to remain discreet.
Let's just save the game.
Sir de Sardi, what are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Naughts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Naughts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine?
Attempt to reason him. Let's do
You've
it.
taken your son against his will and have him locked up like merchandise in a warehouse. Is that what you call being a good father?
If he would have been hauled off on one of said ships.
If that's what then why would you want to stop him?
For his mother. She misses him so. But in the end, you may be right. My boy has changed. He hasn't spoken a word to me since we've been in this precarious predicament. Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Nauts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.